Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on Batwoman Season 2. Now, for today, I originally had a Flash video planned. However, we have some very exciting Batwoman news to go over. So, for today, I decided to go over the Batwoman news first and then delay the Flash video for later. But for this video, we have another main villain revealed for Batwoman Season 2, that obviously being Black Mask. So we have this article to go over by Entertainment Weekly, and they pretty much explain the two main villains for this season, Sapphire and Black Mask, and how they will play into this season. But obviously something even more exciting than this, we have our first Arrowverse show returning in just a couple of days. We have Batwoman Season 2 airing on Sunday, January 17th. And I'm very excited for this season. We obviously have a new main character. From everything we found out so far, it looks to be a massive improvement over season 1. Obviously, as I said before, I will be covering the first few episodes of Batwoman Season 2 since it is the first Arrowverse show to return, but then when the Flash Season 7 rolls around and Superman and Lois premieres, I will mainly focus on those two shows. And if I do have time, I will try and stick with Batwoman as well. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter if you guys want to see my thoughts on other Arrowverse shows which I don't do videos on or barely do videos on, such as Batwoman, Black Lightning, Legends of Tomorrow, and Supergirl. As for this upcoming season, as I said, I will be reviewing the first couple of episodes of Batwoman Season 2 until the Flash Season 7 returns and Superman and Lois begins. And if I do have time, I will try and stick with Batwoman Season 2 as well. However, for this upcoming season, I will mainly be focusing on the Flash and Superman and Lois. But on my Twitter, you guys could see my thoughts on things outside of the Arrowverse as well, such as like the DCEU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and even Star Wars stuff. So all of my thoughts in regards to those are also shared on my Twitter. For anyone interested in dropping a follow, I will link my Twitter in the description down below. Okay, so let's go over this article. So this article kicks off by talking about one of our main villains, and that is Black Mask. So the article starts off, Sapphire isn't the only big bad in Batwoman Season 2. Entertainment Weekly has learned that Black Mask, the notoriously ruthless Gotham City crime boss who has recently appeared in Birds of Prey, will be a major villain in Season 2. His menacing presence was first teased in the superhero drama's official Season 2 synopsis, which revealed that the False-Face Society, Black Mask's gang in the pages of DC Comics, tightens its grip on Gotham, distributing a perilous new drug known as snakebite in the new episodes. And we have a statement from the showrunner. So the showrunner says, "We have a couple of big bads this season." Batwoman showrunner Caroline Dryas tells Entertainment Weekly, one who we teed up midway through the last season, that is the woman Sapphire, and she's sort of Alice's Achilles heel. Ultimately, yes, with the False-Face Society, we will see the leader of this gang as Black Mask later on in this season. While we don't know who will play the sadistic crime lord, we do know that new Batwoman Ryan Wilder, who takes on the Crimson Knight's mantle following Kate Kane's disappearance, will have a major problem to pick with him because of her experience with drugs. While Ryan never used drugs, she was in a relationship where somebody was using drugs, and it's ultimately what got Ryan put away in jail. So it's this idea of having Ryan, this innocent woman, and if she were white, she might not have had the same punishment that she as an innocent black woman had to go through. That's a huge piece of her story. So that's something we're exploring this year, says Dryas. Batwoman has this particular vendetta against the False-Face Society because the idea of drugs permeating the city and nobody taking any responsibility for it strikes her at her core. Okay, so this seems very interesting. So first off, for those who have no idea who Black Mask is, you obviously would have seen him in Birds of Prey if you've watched it, but if you didn't watch that movie, a quick summary is that Roman Sionis is basically a businessman, and his business ended up failing, and it didn't go too well, and one person he blamed for the failure of his business was Bruce Wayne. but the failure of his business really destroyed his reputation, and Roman Sionis wanted revenge for that. So then he puts on a black mask and takes up the villainous identity of Black Mask, and he basically became a crime lord who has his own gang as well that goes by the name the False Face Society. Now, the addition of Black Mask to the show is very interesting, and just as I predicted already, just like how Supergirl uses Superman villains for their show, it turns out that Batwoman will be doing the same. So Batwoman will be using some Batman villains by the looks of it. So like as of so far, we have like Hush, for example, and we have Black Mask, and supposedly we're getting Victor Zsasz and possibly Scarecrow as well. I don't mind that at all. In fact, I find it pretty cool that we're seeing Batman rogues appear on Batwoman. With Black Mask being the main villain of season 2 alongside Safiya, it looks like we are getting the same graphic novel approach for Batwoman as well. So just like what they do with The Flash, where they have 2 main villains a season, one for the first half and one for this back half of season 2, it seems like we will have Safiya as the first big bad, and then for the back half of season 2, we will have Black Mask and the False Face Society being the main villain. However, I won't be surprised if we do get the False Face Society being established in the first half of season 2, and that dragging onto the back half where we officially see Black Mask as like a mid-season finale cliffhanger or something like that. And I really like the idea on having Ryan Wilder connected to this drug storyline. I find that pretty cool, and why she is so determined into getting rid of the False Face Society and their plans. I think it's really damn cool, and I am really looking forward to it. Now, just to add on real quick, we do still have Hush disguised as Bruce Wayne playing a role for season 2. That hasn't changed. Now, I have no idea how long the time jump will be. They didn't really say it, so I guess we have to find out while watching the episode. But it would be great if we do get this reaction of Black Mask, seeing that quote unquote Bruce Wayne has returned to Gotham City and how he will act upon that. I think that would be pretty damn cool to see, because obviously Sionis does blame Bruce for the failure of his business. I don't know if they'll still do that same storyline, but seeing the rivalry between those two characters would be cool. Although little does Sionis know, that isn't the real Bruce Wayne, it is Hush. But we do actually have the description for the main villain of Safiya as well. Now this is from a different article, still by Entertainment Weekly, but I'll be going over that article as well so you guys get an idea of what Safiya will be like. So the article kicks off. As mentioned above, Season 2's other big bad is Safiya, the formidable ruler of the island of Koreana, who has a complicated past with Alice. Having both of these villains in the mix allows the show to tackle 2 classic types of bat-themed stories. While Black Mask and the False Face Society bring the gritty street-level action, Gaia's Ra's al Ghul-like foe delivers the heightened comic book spectacle. Now this part is the same part as the Black Mask article. It's the same article, but later on I will go over the next part of the article still related to Safiya. So obviously we did have this character being name dropped back in season 1, and we found out that Alice was incredibly afraid of this woman. And I really like the idea of these 2 main villains, where we have one related to Gotham City only, but then another where we have a higher up and an even more powerful character status wise. But now this next part of Safiya is from the next article, so it kicks off. The dangerous ruler of the island of Koreana. Safiya is primarily concerned with guarding the desert rose, a rare flower with special healing properties grown on the island, and has a coterie of mercenaries at her beck and call. As we learned from the CW superheroes drama first season, Safiya has a complicated history with Alice, who shuddered whenever the adversary was mentioned last year. With Safiya's introduction in season 2, we'll finally learn why there's bad blood between those 2 women, and what role Safiya played in Alice/Beth becoming a supervillain. So that part is very interesting as well. But we do actually have a statement from the person playing Safiya now. So she says, "She's not what we expected from season 1. She does come across as someone who is quite charming and kind. She has a definite soft spot for Alice. You will learn as we go on that there's definitely a much deeper relationship there." As we already know, season 2 begins with Kate's mysterious disappearance, which is what leads to Javicia Leslie's Ryan Wilder becoming Gotham City's new Batwoman. Kate's absence, however, also colors how Alice handles Sophia, because plotting Kate's demise was Alice's raison d'etre. That's in French, I have no idea how to pronounce that. But towards the end of season 1, and without that, she starts reeling and turns her attention towards her formidable foe across the sea. In season 2, Alice starts the season with nothing left to lose, so her perspective of Sophia shifts a little bit, says Batwoman showrunner Caroline Dries. She's less afraid because she's got Sophia in her sights, and what does she have to lose? Her whole plan for killing her sister went down the drain. Dries is particularly excited for audiences to see Guy and Scarston's first scene together, so those are the two actors that play Sophia and Alice. Their dynamic is amazing because Alice is normally the strongest, most manipulative person in the room, and when she's with Sophia, she's a little differential to Sophia, says the producer. It's a new dynamic and it's very intriguing to watch. So there isn't much to break down from this since the showrunner pretty much summed it up perfectly, but I am honestly intrigued, guys. This sounds so cool. I cannot wait to see this dynamic between Alice and Sophia. Clearly Alice is so afraid of Sophia and I'm wondering why. I am so excited to see what the reason behind that is. Obviously she is a very powerful character, as we could tell, like she owns this island. So she does seem to be a very important character. I'm not familiar with her in the comics, so this will be my first time knowing or even seeing this character. And I am very, very excited to see what they will do with Alice this season, because Rachel Scarston is great. She was definitely the MVP of season 1. Alice is also my personal favorite character so far in the show, and I am very excited to see how Alice's storyline will play out this season. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about all of this. Are you guys excited for Batwoman season 2 or not? But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.